This video is about the basic starting point on any cuisine, and it is cutting. We're going to be going through knife holding and basic cutting shapes that you'll be using majority of the time at home cooking because, well, you're not gonna strive for a Michelin star anytime soon. First, holding. You'll be holding a knife like this, with your finger tucked inside. Not like this, not like this, and for sure, not like this. Hold it like you actually want to cut something and not just waiting for someone to do it for you out of pity. And don't be afraid of the handle. I assure you, this is not the sharpest part of the knife. Next is the motion of the cutting. Think of it as a tiny little saw. You want some lateral movement, not only up and down. This is not a hammer, this is a knife. Knife shape may change, vary to some are flat, some are curvy, but overall you want some sort of lateral motion, either through this rocking motion or you do it yourself. Last I checked, you can't get a paper cut by pushing a piece of paper against your hand. You kind of need to do some sort of, you know? Next, don't be afraid to get cut. You will, eventually. Get over it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Even the best chefs out there will cut their hand. Except for me, of course. I usually cut my hand on various random things like scissors, oven doors, or very, very sharp corners. Finally, find a knife that is comfortable in your hand. This is not some crazy fantasy game where you and your friends are overtaking an evil corporation and saving the world, and you require a blade that's 5 times the length of your arm. You're just cutting at home. So get something that is comfortable to use and at the same time doesn't feel ridiculous when you're using it. Next, when it comes to cutting stuff, you need 2 hands. So your non-wielding hand, you want to make it like a cat claw, you know, kind of like this kind of motion, except on the actual cutting board. Whatever you do, do not put your finger out like this, 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 unless you want to sacrifice a finger every time you want to go make food. Next, you keep that hand up close like this, so you know where the blade is at all time, like a very clingy significant other. You want that. You want to know where it is all the time. Who's it hanging out with? Next, start slowly. I know it's very easy to get an impression by the pros and you see them cut like this, it looks so cool, but you're not a master chef. You're cooking at home, probably alone. So, you have all the time in the world. Take it easy, feel it, get in the groove, cut yourself a few times. Get a simple steel to sharpen your knife. Like this. Unfortunately, I don't have one because I prefer to use a stone on my knives because, I don't know, I just feel like it. That's all. But your knife does not need to be crazy sharp where you can shave hair off a baby's ass. It really just needs to be sharper than this side majority of the time, okay? If they both sides feel the same, then probably not good enough. And don't stress. Your knife will never be sharp enough. Some chef or some pro friend will come along and say, this is not sharp enough. It's okay. It cuts. That's it. Next is actually the shape of a lot of basic cuts. Most of them you're actually very familiar with. If you've eaten beyond a McDonald's meal, you'll recognize it from somewhere. The first and very common one is dice. And I'm talking about a 6-sided dice, not a D12. We're not playing Dungeons and Dragons here. So, a cube. It's a cube, all right? You have small dice, which is like half a centimeter, medium 1 centimeter, and large 2 centimeter, but no one's measuring. Again, you're going at home by yourself. Just get it somewhat the same size. The other one, the other very fancy name, julienne, but you can just pronounce it julienne, like I do, and you'll be okay too. Essentially, there's just strips, very, very thin strips. Another one is bâtonnet. If you've seen a French fry, you've probably seen a bâtonnet. It's basically a julienne, but thick. And finally, it is the rough chop. Everyone should know this. There are much finer and much more finesse way to do this, But if you have your significant other waiting for you or your friends stressing you about when dinner is gonna be ready, a rough chop is just fine. Things like garlic, shallots, herbs, just rough chopping. The goal is to get it almost the same size as possible. You don't have to be perfect, just somewhat same. And if you can't differentiate between various sizes, I don't know what to tell you. That sounds like a much more deep-rooted problem that I can't solve in this video alone. And that's it. That's the bare bone crash course to cutting. This is probably what, 099, 100? I forgot the method, the number patterns. But anyway, hopefully after a lot of practice and a lot of time cutting yourself, which you will, and it's okay, you won't do it anymore after a few times, and you won't cut others either. Enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'll probably be doing more of these short little lessons, I guess, in the future, because lately I've been like watching my friends, or like even before watching some of my cooks who can't do very basic techniques, and it's a little bit like, what, why, what, how you not know this? So these videos are more meant to, like, as a library, so if anyone is curious in knowing how to do these things, they can just watch it very, very quickly. So, but if you have cooks you want to train, or if yourself want to know, feel free to watch this. If you have any other techniques you are interested to know about in the future, please let me know. I'm more than happy to make a quick video on those also. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye bye.